Hi guys, I'm actually updating my reading vlog. What a miracle, I'm back. I'm alive! Finals brutally kicked my ass, so now I'm here. Yeah, finals just destroyed me, I'm over it, but now I have been able to sit and read and do stuff, and I have an update for you guys. So let's get started. So at the beginning of this reading vlog, you guys saw me reading The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan. I have not gotten to finish this book like at all. I'm on page 84 because I started it just before finals and I thought like, oh, I'll be able to read it. It'll be fine. No, it's not going to be fine. I didn't get to read it and I haven't picked it up since the time that I got to page 84. However, I have read a lot of other stuff. The first book I got to read was The Voice in My Head by Dana L. Davis. And this is a story that follows two twin sisters and one of them is terminally ill. The other one hears the voice of God telling her to take the whole family on this like road trip and her sister will live. And it's an absolutely amazing book. It was so good. It made me cry. The only part that I found like kind of jarring and weird was the whole voice of God thing because that's weird to me. But yeah, it was a really good book and I gave it 4 stars because it made me cry. Then I read Check Please by Ngozi Ukazu. This is a collection of comics, I believe, and they follow a gay hockey player that's going off to college, or he's in college and he's on the hockey team. I gave it 3 stars. It wasn't as good as I'd hoped. This had been on my TBR for a while, I think since it came out, like in a physical copy. It was cute, but I also don't care enough to read the second book. I wasn't like thrilled by it or anything, so there's that. And then the other book that I read that I borrowed from the library was Front Desk by Kelly Yang. This is a book about a young immigrant girl whose parents work at like the front desk of a hotel. That's a bad synopsis. Anyway, I enjoyed it. I think I gave it 3 stars. Let me check. Yeah, I gave it 3 stars because I did enjoy it, but again, like, I wasn't overwhelmed by it or anything like that, so like I just had fun reading it. Like, moving on kind of thing. I'm glad I don't own it, and I'm glad I don't own the other book either because I would have probably gotten rid of them as soon as I read them. Like, they're good and they're memorable, but I would not reread them again, if that makes sense. So yeah. Then I actually have some physical books that I've been reading aside from this. I have a physical book that I've been reading, and that is Carmilla by Joseph Sheridan Le Fanu. This is the lesbian vampire that we all love. Carmilla is a lesbian vampire that terrorizes Laura, and I am reading this for my honors thesis because I'm doing it on vampires, gender roles, queerness, and post-colonialism. So naturally, I have to read Carmilla. Dracula is also included, but I've already read Dracula a bunch of times. I really don't want to spend all the time that I have to rereading it, so I just read Carmilla, and this copy in particular is amazing because it has illustrations. I absolutely adore this book. Like, I'm honestly debating if I like this more than Dracula, and that says a lot because I'm pretty loyal to Dracula as my favorite vampire book of all time, but I think this one could beat it because I love Carmilla and Laura so much. I have thoughts that I'm not quite done digesting yet, so when I am, I will let you guys know about it because it's just so interesting. Yeah, so there's that. I forgot to mention I've also got a little bit of a book haul going on. I bought quite a couple books recently. So first is 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. This is, I don't know what it's about. I got this at Barnes & Noble because my dad said that he read it like forever ago when he was younger in Spanish and he wanted me to read it. He was really excited, so I picked it up and I promised him that I would read it as soon as possible so we could talk about it. Hopefully his memory serves him well. My dad's not a reader. He doesn't like reading, so I don't think I could even get him to reread it even if I bought him a Spanish copy. It's not like he has time anyway, unfortunately. But yeah, there's this very pretty edition by Harper Perennial Modern Classics. The next book I got is actually a non-fiction history book, and that is Venus and Aphrodite, a biography of desire by Bettany Hughes. And this basically follows Aphrodite as a mythological figure and how she's changed over time, and her origin as a fertility goddess in Cyprus. So yeah, I saw this on Bookstagram and I fell in love with the cover, but then I fell in love with its contents, and I've been really wanting to read more books on ancient Greek mythology and stuff like that, so I picked this up as soon as I saw it at the bookstore. Then I picked up 1,000 Ships by Natalie Haynes. This, admittedly, I don't know much. I only know like keywords like Greek mythology, female perspective, Trojan War? Yes, the Trojan War. Something with the Trojan War is happening. The Trojan War just happened. The women of Troy are fucked. Yeah. That's my bad synopsis. That's all I know about this book. I saw it on TikTok. I saw it on Book Talk, and they got me with those keywords. And plus, I want to read more ancient Greek inspired things. So I picked this up at the bookstore as well, and it was 20% off. So hey, it's a win-win. And it's got beautiful deckled edges, like come on. And foiling? Oof, come on. Next is the final book from that bookstore trip, and it's this beast of a book, and it is Edith Hamilton's Mythology, Timeless Tales of Gods and Heroes, but this is the 75th anniversary edition. It's gorgeous. It has illustrations. Like, come on, let's just look at this. Can we just admire the detail? Like, it's an absolutely stunning beast of a book, and I want to kind of dedicate some time to studying ancient Greece and ancient Rome on my own, since I can't take any more classes at university for it because I'm overloaded with my English major now that I finished my history major. So I was like, you know what, independent study. And I picked this up because it's a pretty well-known like edition of the myths. Anyway, it's also gorgeous. Like, ugh. It's got stunning illustrations like that one of Medusa. And yeah, I'm really interested in getting into this, and I will let you guys know. Maybe I will make a whole video series on reading ancient Greek myths and what I think about them. So yeah, that's all for now, and I will see you guys as the reading vlog continues. Actually messed up. I have 2 more books to show you guys, and first is The Blood of the Vampire by Florence Marriott, and it's got this fun, beautiful cover of a naked vampire lady. So I'm gonna read you the synopsis because I actually don't know a lot about this book. It says, Miss Harriet Brant, daughter of a mad scientist and a voodoo priestess, comes of age and leaves her home in Jamaica for the first time, traveling to Europe. Beautiful and talented, Harriet will gain the affections of many of the men and women she meets, and a bright future seems assured for her. But there is something strange about Harriet. Everyone she gets close to seems to sicken or die. Dr. Phillips has a theory. The blood of the vampire flows through Harriet's veins, and she's draining the life out of those who she loves. Are the misfortunes that seem to follow Harriet merely coincidence, or is she really affected with the curse of the vampire? So, yeah. This should be interesting because this is the other vampire novel that came out the same year as Dracula, so and another female vampire just like Carmilla, and I feel like there's really not a lot of female vampire stories. We get a lot of, you know, Dracula, Nosferatu, stuff like that, but we don't get a lot of lady vampires. And then I have another book, which is In Search of Dracula, The History of Dracula and Vampires, completely revised by Raymond T. McNally and Radu Florescu, who is a Romanian scholar, and I believe that this just follows like vampire mythology and how it relates to Dracula, Vlad the Impaler, stuff like that. So yeah, I picked this up again because I saw it on Instagram and it obviously caught my attention. It's about Dracula, vampires, history. It's nonfiction, like yes please. That's the last book, and now I'm gonna go. Hi, my name's Amanda and I've ordered far too many Squishmallows. Let me introduce you to them. We have Drew, the dragon, in his rotund glory. Very fat. 10 out of 10. We have Avery with a fuzzy belly and over-caffeinated face. 20 out of 10. And this one has to be my favorite. It's named Ramon, and it's a lion. And it reminds me of my dad, who is Ramon and is a Leo. That is all.